Hello and good morning. This is Andy McCann coming to you from Woodstock, Georgia, where I own CrossFit Garage. If you're local, come join us. If you're not local, well, we have free resources and I have coaches that do virtual work. So you can still kind of work with us, but just not in the gym, of course. So my goal is to help you lay a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finance. So today we're going back into fitness side. We just did the True Challenge. Let me see if I can find the real picture. There you go. We just did the True Challenge. It is a novice and intermediate competition hosted usually in the spring and then in the fall. So we'll do another one October 10th. So mark that on your calendars. I'll get that all to the members and the volunteers. And actually, I should put a note to myself to email the volunteers. Done. I love the ability to pause. I could never do these things live. A lot of people are like, you should do lives. People can interact. Yes, but I hit pause a lot to do a thing. Maybe because I'm tangential. I don't know. But I just like the ability to not waste time while looking for the piece of data that I really wanted, that I forgot that I needed. Okay, so why compete? I'm going to give you a rundown of what's good about it and what's bad. There are bad things about competition. The worst thing about competitions is you push too much, you train too much, and you break yourself. I'll go into some of that. The best thing is you open up new heights. So 2 stories. One of a competitor. This was, I'm going to say it was like last year, but that means it was probably 5 years ago. And one of our members was competing at an event at our gym. Was it the Open? I don't know what it was. It was a competition. It wasn't an Open because it could have been. It was a movement. It was some sort of workout. So things that you did. So, a couplet or triplet. So squat, pull-ups, whatever. And then at the end, you were supposed to establish a 1-rep max with the bar. I think it was thruster. And that person did more than they'd ever done in a thruster after doing a fast beat 'em up workout. So I'm like, how? And they're like, I don't know. I just did. So sometimes you find new depths of who you are. And I love that. So most likely what was happening is they were unintentionally throttling themselves back every time they moved or lifted or whatever, thinking that's probably too heavy, when in fact they had more in the tank. And so this helps them push through that. All right, the other story, I've got 2 of the exact same thing. So it's funny. I talk to a lot of people and I try to remember a lot of what you guys do. And I try to link people together and back and forth. So many times you may think, well, he's talking about me. That's my thing. No, it actually happened multiple times and it's a scenario and it resonates. And I talk about them because it happened a lot. So this one, oh man, it was Carly. So Carly, and then Akila's sister, who I cannot think of her name. It's Sue. I'm sorry. I just can't think of it. Anyway, so we're going to call her Tina because I can't remember it. Or Sue. We'll call her Sue because I know it was SU something or maybe SY. Anyway, Carly comes in and says, hey, I will do stuff. I will volunteer, but I don't want to judge anyone. I don't think I can do that. I'm like, okay, no worries. We had some gear stuff she can move and she was watching the event. And then Akila's sister, same thing. Sue said, I don't really want to do that, the judging. I'm just here. I'll help move gear around, etc. So I had both of them just doing some stuff that would involve non-interaction and no rep. And I was okay with that. We had enough volunteers. It was great. So the volunteers that we have, we try to have enough that you can rotate in and out. And you're like, hey, I want to work. Perfect. If it's I have to work, then I've already messed up and you're not going to stay and the competition is going to flop because I'm pushing all the volunteers too hard. So we always need more than enough. We do give gifts away. So last time it was a shirt. This time it was a hat. Next time I'll probably go back to the shirt. Not as many people are interested in the hat. So make sure everyone has a red or black shirt. Anyway, so both of them were like, I'm just going to do this part, which I think is easier than interacting and telling an athlete no rep or whatever, right? So having to judge them, the range is good or whatever. So I start walking around doing my thing. I was the ultimate cleanup guy. So toilets clogged, that's me. And I see Carly step in to lane 1 with a clipboard. And I'm like, what? So I took a picture of it and sent it to her. I said afterwards, that was awesome. Well done. And she said, yeah, I decided to face my fears. I jumped in. It was great. Sue did the exact same thing. I saw her and she was on the floor early on, right in the middle. And I walked up, gave her a high five and was like, you're doing it. She's like, yeah, it's actually pretty fun. So a thing that can happen at a competition that has nothing to do with your health and fitness, well, actually maybe it does some, is you break through a barrier of, I'm a bit nervous, I'm not sure about this, I feel a little bit like awkward, off, or whatever. Yeah, that's true. I mean, for the event, I felt a little bit nervous that the whole thing was going to come off okay. And you're like, dude, you've done this before. Yes, last fall, and then years ago. So you forget, like, I made a mistake in the scoring that only 3 people actually know about. And I told them, I was like, hey, I messed up. You actually placed higher than you did before. That's my fault. I didn't do the thing correctly, and I didn't communicate that correctly. Did it affect anybody else? Nope, not at all. But I let them know, and I took responsibility, and I offered them some big gifts to say I'm sorry. So we'll see. The emails are still out there. We'll see what they say. Okay, so this stuff, competitions, can be the best thing you have ever done, but it can also be the dumbest thing you've ever done. The road to injury can be great. You know us at the gym, we only have the 2 rules. Rule number 1 is show up. Rule number 2 is don't do anything stupid today that would prevent you from showing up tomorrow. I'm going to pull up the Games website. There we go, CrossFit Games. All right, so the idea behind CrossFit training is health, longevity, and functionality. Man, you know my tagline, I want to help you look good naked, and I want you to become harder to kill. CrossFit competition is stress testing sport risk and recovery. There's a lot of stuff to it. It's different. It is not about the same thing. Those that think, oh, I will be healthier if I compete, the answer is no. If you go down the road of competition, of like serious competition, not like anyone at our gym that's just playing around with it, yeah, totally fine. If you're serious, like, you know, I have my own person that prepares my food. I've got my own massage recovery stuff that I do every day. If you don't have a real job, a full-time job, then yes, you may be one of those competitors, like pushing down the wrong road of competition. And that is another problem with it. Just like everything, it is dialed in fast that you have to be all in, 100%, nothing else. And so it can ruin friendships. It could ruin your earning potential. There's a lot of things that going full tilt could ruin and hurt. All right, so why should you compete? It's going to force some intensity. Intensity is the number one factor, the independent variable responsible for the growth and adaptation in CrossFit athletes. So if you want to understand why I tell you all the time, go for the intended stimulus, it's because it's pushing the highest level of, or a higher level of intensity. So CrossFit is constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity. Now, what is high intensity? It's not 110%. It's not 100%. It's just high. So anything above maybe 65% effort is your intensity. So the other day we did Murph. I was like, I'm not going to go too hard on this thing. I'm just going to move quickly, but with intensity, maybe 66.5 is the number I was going for. I don't know. It just wasn't like full tilt. I scored really well. Sometimes by being relaxed and breathing correctly, you move faster. Sometimes you go slow to go fast. So CrossFit is going to help, or CrossFit competitions are going to help you understand intensity. Most people don't push hard enough in class. It's okay, you're getting there. Even some pushing is better than no pushing. So it's not necessarily about the adrenaline that competition pushes into you, but the desire and that urgency that is established, right? So it's, you know, the clock's on, there's other people around you. You don't know how much you can do until you push a bit more and have a reason to. So you can meet the real self. This is who you really are. Could you take that with you back into class? Yes. And that's kind of what we want. That's why I would say do compete, because you can bring something home to help you show up better. All right, you know, guys, I have said put your fitness to work. I like having things out there that I am trying to aspire to do. It could be a camping event. It could be a hiking event. It could be, I don't know. It could be anything. The idea, though, is that I have something out there that I am preparing for, that it allows me to apply the fitness that I've got. Some of us don't have anything, and that's okay. What I would do is insert some CrossFit competitions. So training without testing is theory. Hey, I have theoretical fitness. What am I using for? Competitions allow you to apply. So does it have to be a CrossFit competition? By all means, no. But it is interesting when you do a CrossFit competition and you're doing the things that you do normally and you're like, I actually can move pretty good with this. I think you also learn a little bit about yourself in terms of like, are you tired? Can I still move quickly now, even though I'm tired? Am I really fatigued, or do I have more in the tank? And there's going to be a pressure component of it. How do I deal with pressure? Can I count my own reps? Remember to get proper range of motion while all of this is actually still happening, right? So fitness isn't proven in the gym. It's proven under stress. So when I say fitness, it's your body's application into the surrounding around us, right? It's my ability to articulate and be motor coordinated in this physical environment. Your fitness, the more fitness you have, the more able you are to do that. Now, the other side of it is fitness is a great hedge against sickness. So if my heartbeat is 80 beats per minute and I get fit and it drops down to 60 beats per minute, then if I get sick and my heart wants to spike up, yes, it may be variable, but it's going to spike up just to 80, which is normal for most everybody else. So being fit gives you also a hedge against all the crazy junk that's out there. Maybe when people are like, hey, you should jab yourself with a thing, you may be like, no thanks, I'm good. So you're fit enough for that. So another aspect that I love about CrossFit is that adversity builds bonds. So we build community because we're all doing similar adversity. Yes, it is true. A long time ago, we had different programs happening in the gym at the same time during the class. And the class did one thing and then individuals would do other stuff. It caused so much confusion and heartache. I said, never again. I have a rule written down somewhere. Andy, follow one thing. It doesn't matter what it is, but follow it. Well, follow something CrossFit-y, right? Follow it. If you want to do anything else you can outside of class time, just go do your thing. I would love for everyone to participate and build community. Once you're going, oh no, I've got to do my own thing, I'm not interested in talking to people, or I don't say it normally, but it is a pet peeve of mine. Instead of participating with class, people will take earbuds and put them in and listen to their own music or whatever. Now, if you're on a conference call, that's totally different. If you're just listening to your own music, you're breaking the social contract of we're here together and we're going to listen and work out together. You should just tell the coach, can we change the music? They will probably change it. But a community gets stronger with adversity. Adversity builds bonds. They know that's why the Army does a lot of this basic training, not only to train you, but to build the bonds of fraternity, right? So it's friendship and fidelity. It's also kind of fun when you are watching people you actually know, like your kids playing soccer. You cheer a lot more and you feel that a lot more when you're on the stage or the platform or whatever it is, right? So it's just an interesting thing that you are more invested in their reps and the outcomes. So anyway, it creates a whole lot of community that arrives together. It doesn't even have to actually be the competition itself. So when I was watching the volunteers from my position of cleaning toilets and all that, I could see them interacting together, even if they didn't maybe know each other before, and making it flow and work. So the adversity of, in this case, hosting a competition was nearly as good as I'm in the competition myself. Another fun one that I like about pushing yourself, CrossFit especially, but competitions, yes, is that your weaknesses get exposed. So a quick story. Strength is my weakness. It's not a secret. I tell people that all the time. If you want to beat me in a workout, which, yay you, I'm almost 53, so good on you. Beat me. That's fine. But if you just put enough sit-ups in it, I don't know why I can't do sit-ups well. My stomach starts to hurt, or make it heavy enough. I just simply can't keep up. I just can't lift heavy. Strength is my weakness. So weakness gets exposed when you compete. So we did the CrossFit Open. They had ring muscle ups. Yeah, totally could do that. If it's a circus trick, give it to me. I made it. I was a top 25% of all males and my age group, mostly because of the ring muscle ups. Then you need to go to the next one, the regionals, or not regionals, what do they call it? Quarterfinals. So we did quarterfinals. They put in their strict handstand push-ups. I can do those. Again, another circus trick. One of the competition wrapped things they did, so like, hey, this is your competition, wrapped up in some cool pictures. It said like 30% of your age group couldn't even do one strict handstand push-up. Well, the reason I made it into the next one, the semifinals, is because I could. Now, there was also a deadlift workout. I don't deadlift heavy much, but I don't mind it, and I pushed through that pretty good. So my My 1 rep max in deadlift is very close to my 10 rep max, which is a weird thing for me, but that's true. So it's probably more slow twitch muscle that I've got. But anyway, it just shows you that it's going to expose your weakness. Now, the semifinals, they don't have the workouts posted for my age groups, but if you go for last year in 2025, I can see what they posted. I'm like, yeah, the first workout had ring muscle ups and then a really heavy clean. I'm like, I don't even think I can clean that anymore. I used to be able to do a clean and jerk of about like 220. I probably am limited to about 185. And that's what the starting weight was. It was like, do a ring muscle up, do a clean and jerk, or maybe it was just a clean at 185. So anyway, it exposes the weakness. Now, your choice then is, do I need to fix this weakness? I am choosing not to worry about it. Yes, I am less strong. It's never been a strong suit for me. That's okay. I'm going to keep doing CrossFit. I look good naked and I am harder to kill. So yeah, I'm okay with that. But it'll expose other things like, do I have grip failure? I always find it fascinating that these things, these hands, never get bulkier, but yet they're holding the same weight that the rest of your muscles are holding, and it is like getting bigger. So your forearms, your biceps, whatever, all that get bigger, but your hands don't like sprout muscles. I know they get a little bit thicker, but you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. Does your engine fall off? Yeah, I need to take more breaks, or I need to eat differently, or I just can't have that high output. Okay, well, tone it back a little bit. You learn more about yourself. So when I coach a class, I typically will tell people, these are the things that you could do to get a better score. Now, does it matter? Do we care about the score really in our classes? Not really. It's just a great way to metric yourself against yourself to say, hey, am I trying to push myself some? It doesn't really matter. If you came in and you worked out the way most of y'all work out, you're going to see the results. Now, I do need you to log in because most of my systems bank on the fact that you do one thing, and that's show up and log in. If you don't, then you get like, hey, where have you been and all that stuff, and you don't get shirts, and you miss a lot of things because you're not logging in. It would be great also if you logged your results because it's super helpful to yourself and me because I have other things in the business that trigger based on how you did it in your workouts and stuff. So please do log your stuff. You can scale and modify for a very long time. And everyone's okay with that. We want to grow you, but I don't want to grow you uncomfortably. If you do a competition, you're going to have to follow the standards of whatever they did. And you might find that, wow, I actually can do that. I just usually didn't. So I'm not saying you were hiding behind scaling and modifying, but I don't know, maybe I am saying that, but you just didn't know to say I could do it because you let yourself not do it. So a competition is a mirror that you can't really lie to because I have to do it. And then I'm looking at myself doing it going, hey, it worked out. I can actually do this stuff. Another thing that I like about competing or events, again, it doesn't have to be CrossFit. It could be this thing that I want to do, the TNGA. It's a big bike packing race through North Georgia. It's just the confidence of doing and surviving, or maybe even thriving or accomplishing, is transferable. So you start going, I did it. Like Carly and Sue. I stepped past a fear point and tackled it, and that confidence will go with you. I've got people that started coaching with us because they wanted to get better on stage, in quotes, right? In front of people, talking in front of people. Man, there is no better way to get better talking to people than just to stand up in front of a group and start talking to people. And these guys really want to listen, and you can't really mess it up because it's on the board and they're nice. So they'll say like, what was that? And you say, was there any questions? So the confidence of what you do out there carries over. You maybe stand up more for yourself at work. Maybe engage with your kid differently in parenting, or just start picking different life choices. Like, well, I thought I always needed to drink, but apparently I've got the confidence now that I can say no. In social situations, I don't have to drink. Okay. In a weird way, also, this whole thing is fun. I like the music, the chaos, and adrenaline. It's like having adults at recess. It's like, I don't know, we're just able to play while the consequences are low. So if you win, does it matter? No. If you lose, does it matter? Not really. It's just, right? So it's just something we will do to enjoy and engage, okay? So let me pause right there and go through some of the websites that I got pulled up. So, of course, ours is CrossFitGarage.com. Go there. You can sign up with us. We actually now put our membership prices on our website. I had somebody email in and say his email address was just show me the damn prices at gmail.com. I know it's fake, but I'm like, okay, I got it. Interesting thing. We've had 2 or 3 people sign up just on the website, didn't even interact with me. But I also went from about 20 people requesting information to down to like 2 people requesting information because it's on the website. So it is interesting. You get to interact less with people, but maybe they don't want to interact at all. So whatever. We got CrossFit Games website. It's games.crossfit.com. Unfortunately, we can't participate really in this anymore because the open is over and we're just not those people. So whatever, it's out. Now, I'm actually going to go down to Alan's wife's gym, CrossFit Buckhead or CrossFit 404, one of those, over a Saturday and Sunday, and at least do 1 rep of every of the workout so I can log something to say, hey, I was there. We also have the True Challenge. We'll be doing this one again on October 10th is the date we've already picked. Well, they had the 10th or the 17th, and we're picking the 10th. So they usually give you 2 weekends to get this workout done. So we'll do it again on a Saturday, probably exactly the same format since it's what we're doing and we're used to it. Yeah, so right there, I have an event on Facebook already created. It is True Challenge Fall is what I put it down. I probably should give it a better name, but that's what it's called right now. Okay, let me go back into, let's see, can I pull that picture up and just let it sit there? I can. I'll let that picture sit there. Okay, so that's the good stuff. What about the bad stuff? Why shouldn't you compete? The risk of injury goes way up. You're going to go outside of your comfort zone. I find that to be okay as long as you're still smart about it. You're moving faster than you normally would, and your mechanics might get worse. Hopefully, you're able to keep them the same. You need to be watching for that. Sometimes you ignore those signals for pain to push through to finish, and that's not good. I always say, if you feel a thing when you did that, then don't do that. Stop feeling that thing, right? Let's figure it out. Let's work around it. But that's in a normal training, like it says CrossFit every day. Competition, you may feel like I need to do this. You don't. If you felt a thing, I would totally be like, all right, and that's where I stop. You chase the board, the reps, and the, where I am on the board more so than smart should allow for. So you may reach, which can be good, but it also can be bad. So you do need to find out where those limits are. I would say push without regret, right? So in this, we are not training. We are surviving. We're going as hard as we can, as fast as we can, as much as we can. In this case, for 4 events in 1 day. I can't go full tilt in any of the events because then I won't do well in the rest of them, right? You don't want your ego to take over. We have opportunity in the True Challenge to do novice and intermediate. I think she's going to add something like RX-ish. So it's those of us that do intermediate mostly, but can do RX sometimes. So I think she's going to bring that in there to allow those that, can do the open workouts but aren't going to make it anywhere, a place to go. So a long time ago, True Challenge was Festivus. And if you remember Seinfeld, George Costanza, Festivus for the rest of us. So all of those that didn't make it to the games get to go to Festivus. Okay, so the other item is you can't scale, and so you must refuse to because you can't. So an ego that's undefeated creates CrossFit injuries. So don't let your ego bruise you. You need to keep that guy under control. Also, so I am a huge fan of rule number 2, don't do anything stupid to prevent you from showing up tomorrow. Doing a competition can prevent you if you push too much or get to the wrong side of it. So if you knock yourself out for 2 weeks, you've set yourself back. So it became a not good thing for your health and fitness. So when I do these races, I know an adventure race is probably going to knock me out for a Sunday, and I'm going to come into the gym on Saturday and go super light. Hey, that's cool. I'm still moving. It's super light. No problem. It doesn't take me out for a couple weeks. It can also kind of create confusion in your goals. You just got to keep your sight on the right thing. Health versus performance. Man, I want health every time. I could care less what my performance was. If you said I keep doing this and I'll live a more functional, longer life, yes, I'm going to keep doing whatever it is. If you said I do that and I'll perform better, like, I don't know, like take creatine. I don't take creatine. I don't take anything. I know creatine is awesome. Since the 80s, nothing has ever been found wrong with it. It's got 46 years of glorious use. I get it. I just feel like if it's got that much glorious use and we made it, that the shoe is going to drop. Something is bad in there and we just don't know it yet. You want to remember it's the longevity versus leaderboard, though in a competition, you are pushing. That's the whole point of it, right? So that's the thing. The goals can get confusing and blurred, and you just have to be okay with that. I think it's also wise to realize that, hey, I'm a 50-year-old dad. I am not a CrossFit Games competitor. Am I a true challenge competitor? Sure. You know what? That's funny. I actually right now am a CrossFit Games competitor because I'm making it to semifinals. But the real thing is, do I care? No, I don't. It's simply showing up for 20 years, 4 days a week, and editing my food sum has allowed to get me to this point. I do practice the tough stuff. Back in the day, in 2008, when we started the gym, I know some of you are thinking everyone could do muscle-ups. Everyone did. It was just an everyone thing. No, it was still just a 2 or 3 of us that could do it, and we're still here. So myself, Nick, we were so into it, we started our own gyms, right? And we could do ring muscle-ups. So it's not that everyone could do it. It's just that those that could were like, hey, this is still fun and I enjoy it. I'm going to keep going. And here we are. So don't miss those days. Don't confuse the goals. It can be unhealthy if you let that happen. Yeah. So the idea of making it a real sport, I think anything, you're trading fame, money for longevity. Actually, let me look up the life expectancy of a pro football player. I know it's short, but let's see what it says. All right, so this is crazy. The reported average life expectancy of a professional NFL player ranges significantly depending on the study, which estimates typically falling between 53 and 59. So yes, it does range. So that's a pretty big gap, 6 years. Like, hey, why can't you narrow that down a bit? Can't you give me an average? But the point is 53 to 59. So what is the average life expectancy of a U.S. male? Oh, they've got it right here. I don't have to type it in. So comparison to the general population is, let's see. Our studies indicate NFL players may have a life expectancy of 77. No, that's not what it's saying. So anyway, the average male is going to be 74 to 77. So I know it's going up right now because a lot of people died off, unfortunately. But there's a 20-year gap in there because you're a pro football player. So my point in that is you are trading longevity for the other stuff. Sometimes like being a professional can be super bad. I have heard podcasts from those that were professional in CrossFit, which unfortunately doesn't make you much money. And they're like, I can't do anymore because my shoulder is so bad. So the volume is extreme. Recovery demands are unrealistic. I guess the other bit for me anyway, since it incentivizes the reward, people are definitely going to push more into the overtraining, ignoring pain. And now a good thing is they become masters of generality, so they can do anything well, just not anything great. So specializing is a problem. So you'll see many times these CrossFit competitors, they train their weak things more. Why? Because they're weak. The whole idea is to bring that up. Now you're going to see that in CrossFit itself. I love it after a workout when someone will turn to me and say, wow, that was very breathy. I'm out of breath. And I'm like, wow, for me, that was very leggy. The squats really got my legs or whatever. And someone else is like, my arms. And so CrossFit hits you in your weakest spot. That's just how it works. The idea is it's cross-functional training. It's going to build the weak spots up. If I build everything up, then I have no weak link and I can't break the chain as easy. It's just harder to do. I guess the analogy I'd paint it together is you can't be a Formula One car and expect to make it on the normal roads of life. It just isn't going to work. Okay, so who shouldn't really compete? Man, if you haven't really started into CrossFit much, I would wait a little bit. I'd give yourself at least 6 months to get some of the things under your belt. If you're, and mostly it's for this one right here, if your movement patterns are off, if you don't understand what squatting to depth means, I don't push that as hard as I used to. It's great for your health and longevity. I want you to do it. But I'm going to tell you once or twice, you're an adult. If you don't want to listen and you don't want to squat, I am not going to berate you. You're not paying me to treat you like a baby or to be a dick. You're paying me to help you get healthy and fit. Would it be better if you did a full squat? Yes. But you're here, rule number one. And rule number two, you didn't do anything stupid. You're not being as smart or as effective as you could be. If you don't have any competition experience, that's totally fine. This is how you get it. I would do something like the true challenge, something a little bit easier, something easier to step into. I guess to go along with my car analogy, you wouldn't at first jump in a car and start racing until you mastered the basics of this is the gas pedal, this is the stop pedal, the brake pedal, this is the turn signals, this is the steering wheel. So understand yourself and the movements of CrossFit first, and then let's jump in. And again, the true challenge is a great one. Volunteer with us to see what we do or compete with us. You're already here around friends that are very supportive. So the true challenge will keep it super local. I mean, it's here, it's in our gym. It's community driven. It's the people around us coming to us. And it's people that, in my opinion, have less of a pompous attitude about how great I am. There is a lot of divisions. I think she has too many divisions. Maggie is the owner, the runner, the director of the events. They're very inclusive in the registration. So we had Masters 55 plus, Masters 45 to 55, right? So there's just like a lot of categories, which can make it not as fun because you're not competing around as many people in the gym, but her events are worldwide. Actually, let me find that real quick. So this is her global leaderboard. So I don't know, it's gonna be kind of neat to see what people are in there. And it'd be interesting. I can't search for the gym. Can I search for the gym? Filter. Events. Strong. I cannot. Be strong. Wow, this is I guess this is all of her events? I don't know. I haven't actually been on this page before. Let's look at male intermediate. This must be teams because that is not somebody's name. So yes, go intermediate male. Okay, well, this is interesting. I must have put on another filter. It's only showing me 4 names. Let me pause you guys and check this out. Oh, I see. CrossFit, you can sort the events. So there's CrossFit Garage. And if I pick participant filters, how do I do that? WOD 1 points. Oh, it's not showing me. Interesting. Wonder what I did wrong then. Females? Oh, there we go. I got it now. Okay. So yeah, you can filter it based on your gym and then I can clear that out there. So I could find where people fall in the big thing. But that's the cool part about this is you're supposed to look through the globe. Let's see, clear. And then see how your standings did. How many points did I get? Where did I fall? Okay. A neat little point here is you don't have to win everything to get in first. So these guys, they've got a 13th place, yet they were in first place. All right, what else do I got for you? So it's local, community-driven, accessible, and then there's good energy. I love it. It's my type of competitive people for sure. It may not be yours, but it's mine, and I love it. It's been great so far. What else? I will point you back to showing up is the biggest and best thing you can do for yourself in almost everything. Your investments, your relationships. Showing up allows you to be consistent, and consistent allows you to be heroic eventually because you're there all the time. You just don't want to be a hero randomly. You want to be there all the time. Consistency is probably one of the biggest keys in the life that you get. Be consistent. I also want to pour in deeply. I want to show up. So a thing I stole from a book is friends don't keep score, they just show up. When I have somebody ask me, Andy, can you come and help me at my lake house do some electrical work? I'm like, yes. What day? Let's plan out. If you let me plan, I can be spontaneous. Health is built over time. The fitness protection against sickness is developed and increased over time. It's just one step in front of the other. It doesn't have to be spectacular. Just show up. The next one you guys know is don't do anything stupid today that would prevent you from showing up tomorrow. The idea there is if you hit your maximums with bad form, you're probably going to hurt yourself. I typically don't ever do 1 rep maxes anymore because if I fail, catastrophe is right there. Maybe 3 rep maxes for me. And that's okay. I'm still lifting heavy, just not optimally or 1 rep as much. It's okay. It's still developing. A 1 rep max doesn't actually build anything for you. It just showcases your ego. You want to be under duress for a little bit longer period than just 1. But it's good to know what those numbers are, and it's good to be able to build off your percentages. Don't push through sharp pain. That violates rule number 2. Don't let your ego override judgment. Usually it's the guys I got to talk to about that. So maybe this isn't a great example, but maybe it is. Originally, there were 4 of us that started the gym: Eric, Shane, Wes, and myself. I am the only one still doing CrossFit. I don't know if the exact story is they went too hard and hurt themselves. I don't know. I know Eric would go extremely hard without warming up. I think Wes had a hip issue. I think that's right. Or a shoulder issue. I was the shoulder issue. I grew into my shoulder, so it stopped being an issue. Shane was at the event. He's looking pretty good, so he's still probably doing. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I know he's still doing CrossFit in his garage with some people in his neighborhood. So I guess that analogy isn't going to work. What I was going to say is the best athletes are the ones aren't the ones who push the hardest. They're the ones that are able to train consistently over time, right? So you may have a firework guy come in and win the games and then go away because they just don't train right. Those that are consistent are the best, healthiest are the ones that show up all the time. Like we had an old coach, Travis Mayer. He's been to the games on stage with them, like in the big event, the CrossFit Games, like 10 times or something. Probably one of the most, actually, I want to look that up, the most consistent that anybody I've ever seen. Brandon Phillips as well. He's got a gym down the street. Okay. I looked it up. Is it real? I mean, I have to believe it's on the internet. It must be real. So Ben Smith is the individual with the most, he's got 11 consecutive CrossFit appearances. So I didn't ask it about consecutive. I just said the most. So Tia Claire Toomey has been to the games 8 times. Rich Froning has been to the games 10 times. Annie Thor's daughter, how long? Annie Thor missed 1 year. In her 9, so she's been to the games 9 times, it looks like. So I know who these people are. If you said their names, I know them because they're consistent, they're around, they're super fit. Now, I also know that both Rich and Annie, actually, to me, all have won the games too. I don't know if Ben has ever won. That is a good question. I don't think he did. I think his claim to fame was he made it at the games training at home, and he would do pull-ups on a tree and ring muscle-ups with them strapped to a tree. His wall balls were against a tree. So it was he's also, I think, 5'4". So if you look at this, it's usually shorter dudes that make it to the games. And for the girls, I would suspect if they did a testosterone test, they would find that the women are abnormally high for women. So for a guy, you're going to be like above 500 in testosterone units, whatever that is. And for a girl, the number is going to be like 5. The amount of testosterone that's different in the boys and girls' bodies is extreme. And so if a girl has 10 units, whatever, she's twice as effective, even though it's 10, right? So yeah, that's the thing. So who should compete if you've been doing CrossFit for about 6 months? If you scale intelligently, if you're emotionally stable under pressure, if you want to test yourself. Bad candidates, if you just started yesterday, don't do this. If you're coming off an injury, don't do competitions. If you have a hard time saying to yourself, guys especially, I'll just do the weight that she is doing because I don't want her to beat me. Man, she has probably been doing this for 10 years and about to kick your ass. Don't do that. So if your ego still participates a lot in this, then don't compete. You need to have a smarter control or a better handle on that one. If you're already inconsistent, like my brother, when we just talked about coming back to the gym, and he's like, yeah, at the beginning I did pretty good. And I was like, I don't know. You've got the record for the longest amount of time it took to get your 100 shirt. So the inconsistency department, you have won. He should not do that. We're talking about coming back and becoming consistent. I would say if you could change your mentality to, or have the mentality of, I'm competing to grow myself, not competing to prove myself, then yeah, let's do it. And that's the kind of people I like. So do it for the experience, the learning, the community, not for validation and ego and Instagram. Now, it is true. I will give you pictures. I actually bought space back on Dropbox I gave my wife the camera. I said, Verity, here's what I need you to do. Take pictures. We have a camera that's probably 20 years old. It's one of the first nice digital cameras you could get. It still works. I charged it up, put it together, and took some pictures. It was fine. So I said, here's the camera. There is sport mode. Just take like 3 pictures of everybody. There's like 100 people, 300 pictures we would go through, right? Just get those. So I get home to download the pictures. There's 1,738 pictures. I'm like, wow, that's a bit more. And she said, I think I took a few more than 300. And it's fine. I was able to easily find the breaks in the workout. And I uploaded them as WOD 1, 2, 3, and 4. So people can go in there and find themselves. If they know their heat, they should be able to find themselves relatively easy. And I've seen people post them on there. But I will help you with Instagram. Don't worry about that. I'll get the picture for you. So my taglines, I guess in closing, would be something like train for life. We want you to be harder to kill, but compete for perspective. Understand your body, understand where you can maybe push a little bit, right? It's not always what you think it is. I have a big belief that the fitness and the things we do should make our life bigger, better, more. It should allow more. Now, I can choose no. That's totally fine. Like Randy said, let's do something epic. Let's go to like a glacier climb. I was like, dude, I am totally in. Friends don't say no. They just show up. Friends don't keep score. They just show up. But I said, is it possible to change the glacier climb to just a regular climb? Because I think I've got Raynaud's disease where your fingers and your toes turn white when they get cold and they like want to die off. I just don't know if I could do the cold. So fitness should make your life bigger, allow for more things, though you can narrow it down. It shouldn't shorten expectancy or shorten ability. You should become harder to kill. I say that all the time, not easier to break. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Actually, how long did I go? Man, I can blow V8. That's 41 minutes. Guys, we are CrossFit Garage. This podcast is mostly about fitness, food, and finance, but we have a huge caveat of we have a gym. And there's 5 things that you can do to grow your life expectancy. It's how you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. On the eat, yes, I can help you. The biggest thing I would tell you is stop eating stupid stuff and track your food. But we also have coaches, Josiah, Matt, Jennifer, that can help you specifically with that. So how you eat, I can help you. If the problem is eating and not money, then hire somebody. They're going to speed it up. So how you eat, sleep. I do know a sleep doctor, Anitra. I could pass you over to her. I would say go buy a Whoop and see how you're doing, or one of those sleep devices that tells you how many interruptions you have. How you eat, sleep, move. Yeah, we have the gym. We can totally keep you moving. We also have things where, like, if you go to our website and you go to gym information, WOD, workout of the day, or it's CrossFitGarage.com/WOD, WOD, then we will put, I didn't put it on this one. Did I delete it? I might have deleted it. Typically, at the bottom of every workout is a home version. So you could do this at your home. Just follow that. I also, if you go to CrossFitGarage.com/free, our free resources, there's 90 CrossFit workouts on there. There's 30 CrossFit WODs, another 30 CrossFit WODs, and then there's one I built a long time ago called 32 at-home workouts. We did that back in 2020 when people weren't coming to the gym. So lots of free resources there. So how you eat, sleep, move, think. We got Coach Jamie. She has Fox Oak Counseling. That's all about thinking, right? How you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. She's also part of Connection. We create groups inside of our gym to facilitate connection. Like we just played D&D last night. There was 8 of us sitting around a table together, sharing and enjoying. We do the outdoor adventure stuff. We do rock climbing. We do all sorts of stuff. Yeah, they're usually activity-based, but that's okay. To increase community, we can help you there if you're local. If you're not local, a little bit harder to help you out there, but we can try. All right, guys. Hey, this is Andy McCann coming to you from Woodstock, Georgia, the pinnacle of health and fitness right here in this city. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's just Woodstock, Georgia. What are we known for? I think Woodstock voted itself the best city to live in inside the Woodstock paper. So if you look at our newspaper, our little journal, then you're going to see we did that. We voted ourselves number 1. So, come to us. Let us help. If you need help, you can find my email address, andy@crossfitgarage.com. I know, super complicated. You can also find my phone number on the website. That actually goes to me. That is, I know I probably shouldn't do that, but whatever. I want to help people. I do get a lot of fake calls. Fortunately, the phones are not like, hey, we think this is spam, so I don't pick up. text me first. That's the easiest way. And don't be like, Andy, talk to me, because that's just fake people as well. You need to give details and your name and stuff like that. Otherwise, I'm not going to respond. I don't talk to strangers, right? Stranger danger. Anyway, guys, hey, think about competing, not just in a CrossFit competition, but other things out there. We do a lot of things. There's a lot of folks here looking to push their boundaries smartly. Let us help you do that. All right, guys, you take care.